Hey, Justin Chamness here, realestatewholesalerclub.com, where we're all about helping you get to that first deal, or maybe the next deal, or maybe you're a wholesaler that's stuck at one or two deals, and we want to help you get to 3 to 5 deals. That's right, every month, every month. I got tired of throwing away. Let me get to that in a minute. The shut up money is when you can tell your doubters, your haters, all the naysayers. Is that a word anybody uses anymore? Naysayers? Does anyone say nay? Nay. You told them your dream and they were like, nay. You get to tell those people, hey, shut up, this works. Let me buy you lunch. Yeah. I'll tell you all about it. All right. So I got tired of throwing away all of these leads. As an ugly house wholesaler, I got in trouble, man, because I was spending some real money on direct mail marketing. And it's not real cheap. Most of you out there doing ugly house wholesaling nowadays are cold calling, and you've got somebody maybe doing it for you for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, 8 hours a day, some 100 hours a day, whatever it takes, right? And you're getting data and you're skip tracing it, and then you're public data and you're skip tracing it, and then you're having your team or someone scrub. Maybe you do all this, scrub it. You know what I mean by scrub it? Scrub it. You got to scrub it on the DNC, not the Democratic National Convention, but the do not call list. Okay, the do not call list. That's going to knock it down to about 40%. And then there's a debate on whether you should or shouldn't text those that are on the do not call list, and so on and so forth, and, blah, blah. Then there's a litigator scrub. And even the name litigator scrub freaks me out, man. Okay. Well, anyway, I was doing direct mail. Okay. Direct mail, I remember spending a few thousand on direct mail. And I remember being nervous as hell about it. Okay. Being nervous as hell about it because, when you drop a few $1,000s on a marketing machine, no matter what it is, direct mail in this case, I bought a bunch of postcards. Now, I know it's not a lot of money to you guys. But at the time, I remember spending $4,000 on postcards. And I was like, this will definitely bring me another deal or two. Oh, yes, in my dreams it did. I had dreams. You know what a dream is? A dream is a fond hope. I had a fond hope that another deal or two was going to come out of this $4,000 marketing investment. It was a vision. Boy, did I have a vision, right? A dream is a vision. And then it was, hey, Christina, sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. I'm glad you're here.
Oh no, hi, Justin.
Glad you're here. I want to talk to you. So yes, I spent $4,000, and then all of a sudden, nothing came in. I mean, nothing. I say nothing. I mean, no leads came in. I just didn't close any. It was tough. So I scrounged together another $3,000, and I put it into this time I got some real appointments out of it. And I was very, very excited about these appointments. Unfortunately, I guess I wasn't good enough to close any of those either. So now I'm $7,000 in marketing in the hole. And I think you can probably assume at this point in my career, I'm thinking, well, I'm kind of unemployed now. I've spent all my safety net on postcards to get another deal. And I've got to find a better way. So that's why I do what I do. Okay. I am what I believe, what I call, I think I invented the word. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. You guys can check up on me. I think I invented the word full spectrum wholesaler. Okay. Which means It could mean a number of things, but what it means to me in my mind is that I'm not just an ugly house wholesaler. I'm actually a pretty house wholesaler too. That means that I have the ability to take a lead if it is a motivated seller. And even if the numbers don't work out for an ugly house deal, I'm able to do the deal. I mean, I have something I can offer them. You know, I mean, they may say no still, right? I mean, I'm not a magician. I'm not a wizard. But it's nice to have something to offer them. Okay. Right. So if the numbers don't work out for an ugly house deal, it's nice to be able to offer them a lease option. Or maybe a subject to. Or maybe I'm talking to a wholesaler. That happens. Sometimes you end up on the phone with a host. He's got a deal under contract. Great. Then I can offer him a co-wholesale. Okay. To be a full spectrum wholesaler, you see what I'm trying to talk you into believing here is that you can be a bit more of a transactional engineer than you think you can be just by adding on a couple simple strategies to what you're already practicing or trying to practice. Okay. So full spectrum wholesaling, everybody. I love it. I love it. Ugly houses. I down the ugly house business a lot. Like I talk shit on it. I should not do that. But I definitely do. I am an ugly house wholesaler, but I am not just an ugly house wholesaler. Okay. So I want that to be very clear. I am a full spectrum wholesaler. It's good to see everybody here. It's good to see Christina, Carl, Sue, Jocelyn. It's good to see you here. If you're watching out there, it's good to see you. And I know a lot of folks in the members only group here that watch the replays. Okay. Thank you for that too. I really appreciate it. We have a really, really fantastic group of people here, and I'm very, very impressed by them. And I'm very, very honored to know them. That's facts. Okay. Even outside of real estate. I mean, these are just good people.
Justin, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Okay.
I'm going to leave and come back.
Okay. I'll see you in a minute.
I'm going to rejoin. I heard you when I first entered the room, but now I can't.
Okay. I'll see you in a minute, Jocelyn.
I'll be back.
Okay. Is everybody else hearing me okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Great.
So,
all right.
Justin,
Yes.
I was a minute or two late, so I missed your introduction. And I noticed your website, you do distressed houses, you do the ugly houses. If we bring somebody to that site, referral, do you do joint ventures with people or not? I mean.
Okay, so joint ventures can get really hairy, all right? And for me especially, because I have so many people that would love to do them with me. And I'm really not built out as a business for it because I'm a solopreneur. I don't really have the machinery to take on, maybe a couple dozens people's deals all at the same time.
Okay.
And do you service, okay, and do it the service that it needs. All right. What I would rather do is I'd rather honestly just show you how easy it can be to do it yourself, really, and keep all the money. All right. It is pretty simple. There is some. I want to say there's a caveat here because when we're talking about ugly house business and stuff, there's a couple things you need to be aware of. One, there's a bit of deal analysis that you should do before you even contract a deal. If you're doing it virtually, okay, you should look on PropStream and see if there are cash buyers buying in that zip code, okay, or in that neighborhood. If there's no cash buyers and it's a rural area, then it's probably not a good contract to get, right? Okay, you have to you can see on PropStream, that's the beauty of today, is that you can see who's bought something in that area in the last year or whatever what time frame you want to put on it. So
where do you see that on PropStream? I have it, but I'm new to it.
Okay, so on PropStream, all you have to do is put in the zip code into the search bar, and hit go. And then right there next to the search bar, it has a box, a menu that says filters. You can just click filters and go to cash buyers, or you can go over just down below that. There's another menu that says cash buyers. You can click cash buyers. Anytime you click cash buyers, it's just going to pull up cash buyers. Okay.
Okay.
Then from there, if you want, you can change the dates, because it'll be showing you everybody that's bought anything since like 2003 or something.
Right.
Okay. So you'll want to change the dates to like the last 6 months or a year to see who's the active investors. And in a lot of cases, you're going to end up with realtors. Okay. So it's okay as long as there's activity going on in that ugly house market. You'll know, hey, yes, I can contract this deal. There are potential buyers out there. What happens a lot of times is, because of the way I teach lease options, everybody's going virtual as broad as they can. They're getting a whole state at a time in scrapes and for sale by owners, and then they're blasting that. They're getting some. What I find is 10 to 20% of the responses are ugly houses. A lot of times. So we get ugly house leads that do respond even to a lease options outbound text message.
Oh.
So when they respond, it's easy to say, oh, well, this is an ugly house. He's asking less than what it could be worth. I could get this under contract. Yes, but should you? Okay. Go to PropStream and take a look at the market first a little bit, because there's a lot of houses out there that really are just going to sit there until somebody bulldozes them. Okay. Because there's just no one wants to live there.
And don't you have to have cash to do this distressed houses? I mean, don't you have to buy it for less money? No. Okay.
So
I knew you'd have a technique.
Yeah, I put out a video the other day on YouTube called Ugly House Wholesaling School, and I'll try to put that link here in the chat room. It's like a 15-minute long video where I go into how the ugly house wholesaling business works. I drop a couple gold nuggies in there for everybody who is already experienced with it. And they're like, hey, that's beneath my education level. That's kindergarten stuff. I don't want that. All right. Well, there is a couple advanced thoughts in there. All right. So ugly house basic training is not always basic. I'm going to put the link to that video right here in the chat room in Zoom.
Thank you.
You can grab that one there, but it will explain to you how we contract a deal and then we sell it off to a cash buyer. Okay. Through a method called assignment, wherein we, just like the lease options business, we are not taking title to the property.
Sorry about that. I just got the video up.
That's okay. No, you don't need to apologize. You didn't do anything wrong. It's a great question. I'm glad you brought it up. I only make that comment about it being basic information because it is the most talked about strategy in creative real estate, more so than anything out there in the whole world. And some people will pass this video over, and I know they have, because I'm a creative real estate guy, but they've passed this video over because I said it was basic training on ugly houses. And people are like, oh, well, I already know that. Zach Ginn, I'm in his group. If you're not in Zach Ginn's group, that's a great group to be in, by the way, because he does teach ugly house wholesaling very well, and it's free. So that's a good
How do you spell Quinn? Just Quin?
It's Ginn, Ginn.
Oh, Ginn.
Yep.
And his group on Facebook, or
yeah,
what?
yep.
Okay.
ZACH, I think.
Okay.
GINN. Yep. Free stuff. Yep. And he's a real good guy. I've had him on the show here on Saturday before. Back when we were doing the Saturday show before the pandemic, he came on, was a guest one time. Great guy. I've been a guest on his show once too, and he's a cool dude.
My husband and I were going to do the ugly houses. That was the strategy we were going for. And before we started, my husband kept saying, it's super competitive. It's super competitive. And I was like, yeah, but we can do it. And then I started learning about pretty houses and how it wasn't competitive.
Yeah.
And that's why we went your route. But isn't it, back to the basic question, isn't it super competitive?
The ugly house business, super competitive.
Yeah.
Yes and no. All business is competitive, really. If you think about it, the ugly house business is pretty competitive, but it's competitive with people who aren't very good. Just
Oh.
frankly, I'll just be real with you. Zach Gann is a great guy. He's a really talented guy. He's very good at what he does. Okay, he teaches thousands and thousands and thousands of people every week how to do what he does, and very, very few of them really catch it. And
Wow.
that's kind of the way it is with all the great teachers.
Yeah.
So yes, there's a lot of people trying to do this, but not a lot of people really doing this. You know what I mean? And I feel like that too in the real estate lease options world. I've had people ask me, "Hey, it doesn't make sense for you to raise up your own competition here." Well, no, that's true. It doesn't. And I actually started the club with the idea to partner with people, but it's gotten so large I can't, like I explained earlier, it's just too much for me. So I've learned to not be worried about competition, even from my own students, because most of them, unfortunately, okay, because I'm just like Zach Gann or anybody else, most of them learn to do this stuff, but they never actually do this stuff. And I wish they would, because geez, it's like having a dream and then just not really putting it's like owning a Lamborghini or something and not putting the key in the ignition and taking it for the first drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know how to drive a Lamborghini. The first time it might be scary. It might be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, here. Yeah, but it's get in, let's
Yeah.
go.
I was on Ace's Zoom yesterday. I didn't even know who he was. I got on to see you, and I met Ace, and and he was saying the same thing, and he gave great advice. How he had a guy on there. I wish I could remember his name, who had been in the business for a year and a half, and he didn't make his first deal until a year and a half into it. And I thought, man, I could never last that long. And the guy,
Yeah.
I didn't say that, but I was thinking that.
Yeah, right. Sure.
And the guy said, I had no better options. And I knew that this is the business where you can make a bunch of phone calls and make 30,000. So I just kept going and I just kept going. And then I cracked the code and then I got it. And it was like, that was just great advice.
Yeah.
We all need it.
I totally agree 100%.
Yeah.
My objective is with my coaching is to help people get to that first deal within the first 60 to 90 days. I have a good program to help people get to there. I have a good rhythm that they can plug into to get there. Unfortunately, people don't really plug into it really. They plug in partly, like they pick and choose like they're at the buffet. Okay. And what I've been trying to tell people is, hey, if you can just give me 90 days of your focused attention, okay, and not get distracted with other stuff, that's really, really what it's probably going to take. And I think, a year and a half, maybe it'll take a year and a half for you to develop the skills, but you could develop those skills in 90 days if you really, really, really just followed stayed the course, so to speak. That's what I think. Does anybody have any comments about that, or maybe I'm just stroking myself here a little?
I think that was completely doable if you give your 110%. Like, because we did do our first deal within the first 90 days with you.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's great.
Well,
completely possible.
Yeah, there's a few that have, because they actually apply themselves to the formula. Okay. And people are like, well, what is the formula? I've gotten the course. The course is good, Justin, but I still kind of don't know, like, what's that first step? I'm trying to set up REI reply, and I'm nervous about the phone, and I'm nervous about, people saying F you back on the text message. And okay, well, see, that's what the coaching club's about. So you can get on my calendar for a 15-minute session. Let me help you out once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times a week, even whatever it takes until you're ready. Okay, see, it's all about how much you plug in, how much you get out of it is what you put into it too, right? So there's folks like Christina that put in a lot. They did. Okay, her and Vic put in a lot. Just frankly, honestly, there was times I looked on my calendar and I was like, oh, again, honey, they're on my calendar again tonight.
We should show you our like messages from like the first month. It was like every day paragraphs and
Yeah.
paragraphs
Yeah.
and voice memos and
Oh,
phone
Yeah.
calls.
Yeah,
We abused you, Justin. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
it was
said,
abuse. It was verbal abuse all the time.
I said, these guys are getting their money's worth, man. Whew, you know. Hey, I'm happy for it. I'm glad you did that. That's what I want, actually. It's really
How long
cool.
have you guys been in the business, if I may ask?
Not long.
I started in May.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
And then-
excellent. And you two are married or business partners, or? I see Vic and I
She's
see.
my fiance. She's my fiance.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Business partner and
Awesome.
fiance.
So yes and yes, basically.
So word of caution, if you're gonna get on each other's throats if you and your husband are doing it, me and Vic had to work through a lot of the stuff.
Justin was also
together.
our marriage counselor.
That too.
And
Nah,
there was a lot
husband
of
and I-
times when
My
we
husband and I
were,
are
like,
not actually doing it. He's in real estate, in new home sales, management of new home sales.
great.
So he has a different knowledge that has nothing to do with lease options, but he
Wow.
totally supports me, and I'm going to
Great.
sell clients on that. My husband and I do this as a business instead of trying to sell them on Justin like I was.
Yeah.
And people were asking, okay, what's his experience and what are his, give me
Right.
some references, and it got complicated. And I thought,
Right.
I'm just gonna do my husband and I and make it sound like we
Yeah.
are small entrepreneurs, which we are.
When I
Let's-
speak on the phone, I just say myself. I
Mm,
just speak about myself.
Great.
okay. Yeah. Good conversation here. Good point. In my little script, okay, I've got it where you guys can call me your partner. And Sue's pointing out the fact that might not be the best way. Right? It might be better to just fly solo and not depend on me. But I want you to know that you can set an appointment with me and have that guy or the homeowner lady, whoever it is, have a same appointment time, and let me and you call them together. I will do that with you. Okay. I am human. I don't always get the deal. Sometimes I completely blow it too. But I will bring every bit of knowledge and experience I have, and try. I'll try my best. And a lot of times it works out pretty good.
Yeah, it does. It does. Because we've had a couple of those calls too, and most of them were A+ leads that were just nearly there, but were sitting on the fence.
Yeah. Sometimes it just helps to have somebody come over and kind of kick them a little, Yeah, and I think with ladies on the phone, maybe this has something to do with it too. And since we have a plethora of ladies here in the room today, do you ladies feel like it's tougher for you to make phone calls to homeowners because they will maybe treat you differently?
I've gotten that experience.
Do you feel like it might be harder to close them because of that? Or maybe I'm just making that up?
I
Find
Well-
the opposite.
You think the
don't
opposite?
so.
Oh, yeah. I think that because we're women, we offer a gentleness that they can appreciate.
Wow. That's good.
I find works to my advantage.
Yeah. That is good. That's
I've
good.
gotten the opposite effect. I don't know if it's because well, in the beginning I would use a completely different tone. I would use that gentleness and that softness, and it would give me the polite, I'll call you back later. And that didn't work for me. I didn't like that. So I had to switch up my tone later on to get where I wanted to go.
I should have said a gentle assertiveness.
Okay.
Woo! That's a cool phrase. I like that one. That's a good one. Gentle assertiveness. Yeah, that's a good one. I think that's using it to your advantage is what you talk about, right? You know,
Mhm.
not letting it be something that they use against you, but rather using it
Exactly.
and then being able to still like, hey, if I need to, I can step up. You know,
Exactly, because we're about business. So
Right.
that's exactly right. Mhm.
Right. It's good. I want to introduce Jocelyn while we're here talking with her a little bit. Jocelyn has kind of been with me since the beginning. Okay, like this is like the beginning, meaning like when I started YouTube channel and got going. She's one of the very first few people to ever reach out to me, and so she's been in the lease options business, kind of like me, for a while, and she's had some really good experiences in it. And she's made a special offer to me and the club here. And that is, we all hate dispositions, right? We all hate selling off these deals because it's a lot of interactions. It's a lot of interactions. You got to talk to a lot of people that hit you up about your ads and stuff. Well, Jocelyn has offered to do some dispositions work for folks here in the club if they want it. Okay. On the lease option stuff. I don't know about cash money stuff. I didn't ask her. So maybe we can talk to you about that. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Jocelyn, and what your plan is here.
Of course, of course. And I apologize, everyone. I was having technical difficulties like you would not believe.
You're
I'm
okay.
very happy to be here with you guys. And so I'll tell you a little bit about myself. We started real estate investing back in 1989. My husband and I have 34 years. I'm dating myself. Oh my gosh. Back then, people, like you say lease option, rent to own now, and most people will at least have heard of the term. When we started back forever ago, hardly anyone knew what the terms meant.
Yeah.
To
Wow.
date myself even more, if you guys remember Carlton Sheets,
Oh yeah.
this was, we started with his course, and that's why I love people that will take the time to teach. That's how I got started all those years ago, and it worked for me. It worked for us, and we've
Great.
done a lot of deals. I held my license for many years, used it to invest. I didn't use it for other people. I used it for ourselves, and it's a great business, guys. It's a great business, and I love to help you guys. I've been involved with several successful deals. Not all of them, like Justin said, not all of them are going to come to fruition, but the ones that do are very rewarding, helping people.
Right.
And I'm here to help. I'm going to try and join as many of these lives as I can on Saturday. And
Cool.
I'm here to help.
That's great. Cool. Welcome, Jocelyn. I'm glad. And
Well, thank you.
if you want, put your contact information or share it regularly with us, even in the chat room, in the members chat.
Okay.
Share it with us regularly, so as folks get deals, they're reminded regularly about your opportunity here to partner with to do the selling off of the deal to a tenant buyer, to find the
Absolutely.
tenant buyer. They'll know how to reach out to you and discuss the deal and get it going.
Absolutely. If you guys would like to write this down, and I will put it in the chat, you can reach me at 440
Cool.
694 3417.
Great.
That's 440 694 3417. Or, and this is really easy, you can email me anytime. Tenant buyers, plural, number 10, not numeric, not spelled out, 10 at gmail.com. So that's tenant buyers 10 at gmail.com.
Nice. That's cool. That's cool. Great.
Thank you.
Cool. Anybody got any questions or
It's my
anything?
pleasure.
Any thoughts or questions, comments, anything? Welcome. Welcome, Jocelyn. Glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure.
Oh,
In any way I
where-
can help, please let me know.
oh, mhm.
Thank you.
Sorry. I was going to ask, the replays of the Saturday stuff is on Facebook?
Yeah, I usually put a link in the Facebook Messenger chat room, also on the Facebook private group. It's called Shut Up Money Replays.
And we are in the private group, right? Or is that one grade up?
No, that's you're in all. You have access to all of those things. It's all
Okay.
all part of the deal. And then also it's just on YouTube as well usually. So Saturdays. We might do some private Saturdays where we don't go live, but I like to go live if we can. Hey, I got an interesting thing here. Let me share. I'm going to put an address in the Zoom room chat. Boom. I want you to look at this, Christina. Does this address look familiar to you? Oh, okay. It looks familiar to me, and I was thinking this was a deal that you and Vic had worked before. Somebody emailed me this earlier today, and they said, "Hey guys, oh, do you remember Earl? Earl Pond?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, from the club here. Yeah, he's another guy in the club here. He sent this in. He said, "Hey guys, I got a call from this wholesaler down in Texas, small house in San Benito. They say it's in a livable condition now. I'm sure a paint job, cleaning the yard, etc. would improve it. I'm spread too thin on time to work with this. Wanted to see if you or someone on the team might be interested. Currently a wholesaler looking to do a double close transfer, buyer to pick up the closing costs. Thanks, Earl." Hey, thank you, Earl. Appreciate it, man. We'll take a look at it and see what we think. Let's dive into this one and dissect it a little bit. Can we do that? Let's see what we think. You guys, you got the address here in the Zoom room chat? Because we were talking about ugly houses and pretty houses, being a full spectrum wholesaler, right? Being able to being able to get deals instead of throwing the lead away, being able to figure out, hey, how I can offer a pretty house offer here or an ugly house kind of offer. Well, what do we want to do with this one? This one's a wholesaler deal, but it says it's in livable condition. So I want to see if I can maybe look this one up on PropStream. Has anybody got it up on PropStream? No.
I almost do.
Okay.
I'm logging in.
All right. I'm just curious as to population in the area as well. Does anybody know anything about San Benito, Texas?
Nope.
No. I thought this might be a lead that you had worked earlier.
No, I think we mostly stayed
It's
in the
possible we
West
sent out
Coast.
a lot of messages. Could
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so San Benito, Texas has 24,780 people in it. Okay. I wonder what county it is. Okay. So now I'm going to look. This is how I do things, guys. So just, I'm trying to show you here how I kind of quickly analyze something like this that comes in, because stuff like this comes in a lot. San Benito, Texas county, Cameron County. Okay, so now I'm going to go look at Cameron County, Texas population. Okay, 400. Okay, that's a good size county. Okay, so I wonder how far away Cameron County Walmart. Okay. Oh, several. Okay, this is in the Harlingen, Brownsville. So this is southern Texas, down near the border. Okay, great. This is a very populated area. Okay. San Benito, right here on the map, you can see there's a Walmart right by it. There's also several other Walmarts nearby. So this is where people live. And why am I talking about Walmart? Well, simply because Walmart only goes where people live. Okay. And if I'm looking at a property deal and there ain't no Walmart anywhere near for 65 miles, yeah, well, I'm out in the middle of friggin' nowhere. Okay. I might not want that contract. Okay, so let me just share this here. I'll just go all in for the people, the audience watching. Here's the address. Asking price 44,000. ARV 120 is what he says. Okay. So let's somebody here in the room pull it up on PropStream. Let's find the ARV. Let's check his ARV here. Is it 120? Can somebody pull that up on PropStream and start talking to me a little bit about what they see as far as values go? Or would
I
you
have
like?
it up,
Okay,
but
great.
I don't know how to find it.
Okay, no problem. Let me share screens and let's dive into this a little because this is a good way to check things. All right, I'm logged into PropStream. I'm sharing screens. You can see in the search bar, I just put the address of the property and it pops right up. Now, you can see in the area, there's 2,879 cash buyer transactions on record. All right. All right. You see how I did that there, Sue? That
Yeah.
answers your question earlier. I could also come over here to filter. I could drop this quick list choice and I could come down here to cash buyers. I could do this as well. All right. If I do it this way, I like to do it this way with the filter box because then I can select cash buyers. I can come over here. I can do not owner occupied. I can do whatever I want to do. Okay. What you definitely want to do though is you definitely want to come down here and you want to put in some type of ownership information, as in like years of ownership or last sale date being a year ago. Okay. So let's try to do that right now. I'm just going to back it up a year and let's see what happens. All right. Actually, let me just put in the zip code here instead of the address. All right.
It put the address back in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it did. Here we go. Cash buyers now in this zip code. 309. Okay. 309. That's quite a few. Quite a few. I can definitely kind of poke through here and see maybe which ones are closer. You know, I can filter things a little bit more tightly and time wise. I can maybe even get into specific neighborhoods. So you can play around with the data sources over here and filters. But right now we're looking at cash transactions in the last 12 months, 309 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
And
wondering,
what would you consider a really low number where you would automatically say no?
oh, well, if there's not two or three, yeah, you know, if there's not two or three in that area, I wouldn't even try.
Okay.
And there's a lot of areas where there's not two or three.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you can see this is kind of spread out a little bit here. You know, the zip code is a pretty large zip code. So there's investors, I'm sure, that only invest in the north side or maybe the south side or the east or the west side or what have you. So you can dive in a little deeper here and actually look at the address and look at properties that have sold recently. Let me see if I can pull up. What was the address again here? I don't remember. I have to look.
139.
Okay, 139. Got it. 139. What was it? Maria Street?
Maria.
Street. Okay.
I thought it would just come up automatically.
I did too. There it is. Okay, and wait a minute. Now we have a couple. Okay, that's Batesville, Texas. Here's San Benito. Okay. Now I've got the actual address in there, so I can come over here to details. I can click details, and it'll pull up a lot more information for me. You see estimated value. These are numbers. You can't really rely on them so much because it's an estimated value. It's not a comparable, okay? You can see the neighborhood is actually appreciating in value. You can check the owner's name. Okay, hopefully this is the actual guy that they're talking to. Comparables and nearby listings. Click that. Let's see if I can slide down here. Now I can actually select public records, MLS, both. I can go back a year, or I can come back. I like to do 6 months, so I don't like to do a year. Square footage. I want to make sure that I'm close. What is this square footage? 1,520. Okay, I think, that's a lot. Let's see here. All right, here's some more closely related. All right, now I like to do 0.3 miles. All right, okay, none to show there. So let's back it back out to a half a mile. Okay, well, it's pulled up some comparables for us here. Okay, so it looks like in the comparables world, we have 1, 2, 3 properties. Looks like sold amount sold, date right here, public record or MLS data. Here's the date sold. Looks like February. Looks like August. Looks like, what is it, May? And here's the estimated dollar figures. So yeah, this house could be worth something here, it looks like. All right, could be. There's nice ARVs here, nice houses in the area. I like to come over here to the map though too, and you can see where you have your property, your subject properties in red here. And I like to look inside the pocket. You guys know what I mean by the pocket? This is a pocket. You guys see where I'm moving my cursor? Okay. Nobody sees that? You guys all see that? No one sees it.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay. This is what I call a pocket. And you can see how these houses, the subdivision itself is boundaried by some major streets, like Palma Street here. La Palma Street is a major street. How do I tell? Because it's a big, thick gray line. And then on the other side of the neighborhood, it's Combs Street. Okay. And then they both look like they combine together here at the end. And on the northwest side, there's Encino Street. So it creates a pocket of houses here. I really wish I could find some comparables in this pocket. So let's see what I would have to do to find some comparables in this pocket. Let me take it back a little further. Let's go to a full year. There we go. Full year. No. Maybe nothing sold in this neighborhood in the last year. Okay, let's try that. No, nothing pops up. Okay, so really there's just no comparables in the pocket. Okay. So what do I do now? Well, it's okay. This is actually kind of a small pocket because it's right. See, this Saint Teresa Catholic Church takes up a lot of the pocket. And that's nobody lives there, probably. So there's just a little bit of houses here. So there's no real comparables in the pocket. So what can I do? Well, I can see there are 3 comparables just south of the pocket, in the pocket right below it. Okay. All right. So I'm kind of going to be forced to use these as some kind of a reference here, because there's no other properties that I can use as a reference. They haven't, these have sold recently. They're really close. They're less than a half a mile away. They've sold in the last 6 months. And you can see if I click on some of these, it doesn't look like these have any pictures, but in some cases, there's even pictures of these comparable houses. And what we'll do is we'll look to see if the pictures actually look like the same style of house, okay, or same sizes. Is it the same kind of neighborhood? Okay, so we just try to get a good feeling for and we're not looking for scientific facts here. We're just looking for an estimate here. Okay, so it's definitely worth somewhere in the neighborhood of at least 100 and 115 to 150. I don't know. Again, I'm just getting an estimate here, but what I can tell from the details is for sure a $44,000 asking price seems pretty reasonable.
Mhm.
So would I want to pursue this deal? We've analyzed it for 10 whole minutes. Would I pursue this cash money deal? This is a co-wholesale deal, by the way. Would I pursue this one? Would I pursue this co-wholesale deal? Somebody give me your opinion.
Have you looked? Well, you didn't see no pictures on PropStream. Have you tried Zillow and see if kind of like maybe you can get a picture of it?
That's a great question. And I think you should definitely do that on any of these deals. I have looked a little bit on Google. I have not seen any real pictures of the property, even on like realtor.com. The next best thing is to just go to Google Street View, which you can see.
Yeah.
This is what it's showing me here. Okay. But it's showing me 147 and I'm looking for 139. So I'm not sure which one of these little bungalows it is, but it looks like, it could be a little bungalow here. One of these, not sure which one. Okay. So, but at least this gives me an idea of the neighborhood a little bit,
Yeah.
kind of a cute little neighborhood, to be honest with you.
And you got to consider the repairs.
We'll definitely need to consider repairs. The message said that the house is livable now, but we don't really know what that means, do we? So
Yeah,
you're right, Carl. We do need to find more information. Just another thing about analyzing properties. Another thing I notice about this Google Street View when I do things like this is I'm looking at the houses. I'm looking at, are they kept? Do these look like homeowners or do these look like renters? And, these actually could be a little mixture of both, perhaps homeowners and renters in this neighborhood. It looks like this house here is having some work done to it. It looks like maybe a stack of shingles is sitting right here in front. Maybe this is the house in question. I don't know, but it does look like new siding, a new front door. This house next to it looks cute. Another thing I noticed about the neighborhood is right across the street, there's a vacant lot. Okay. That probably will never have anybody build anything on it. But look at the house next to it. It's really cute. Somebody really takes care of these. Another thing I want to notice about neighborhoods is I want to notice what kind of cars are sitting in the driveways and on the streets. Why do I want to see what kind of cars are sitting there?
They'll just tell you how they take care of stuff. The cars, like trucks, construction workers, maybe something like that.
Yeah. So it looks to me like what we have here is good, hardworking, middle-class folk. Okay. Why? Because they're all driving cars with car payments somewhere in the $400 to $600 a month range. Okay. Am I crazy? Or look at this guy. This is a safe neighborhood because he didn't even bother to roll his window all the way up. Or maybe it's just hot as hell down there. Okay.
Probably that. More than likely.
All right. So I think we've come to the conclusion after all of this discussion about this property opportunity is that one, depending on the repair costs, what those might be, I would like to take a shot at this deal. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? So being a full spectrum wholesaler, that's nice. See, I'm not just stuck at doing lease options. I can do this ugly house co-wholesale deal. So how would I go about doing this? Let's go through this really quickly. We've got 10 minutes left. How would we go about doing this co-wholesale ugly house deal in San Benito, Texas, if we were so inclined to do this? What's the first step? Earl is my point man. Okay. Earl's my friend. Earl said, I got this deal with this wholesaler guy that I could do, but I'm spread too thin. Here's the address. Here's the info. If you want it, you can have it. What do we do now?
You're supposed to get the cash buyer or contract.
Yeah, does he have it under contract, Justin?
Okay. It's under contract with a wholesaler.
But I'm talking about
He wants
between
to
you and
wholesale the deal. Sorry about that.
yeah.
Say it again, Carl.
He wants to co-wholesale. He's saying, I
Yeah,
don't
so
have
it's
time. I'm looking for somebody. Okay.
Yes. So here's the scenario. It's the homeowner owns it. He has a contract with a wholesaler locally. Okay. A local wholesaler has this under contract. He has not been able to find a buyer yet. So plus it's a pretty house. It's a pretty house now. It's livable, he says. So it needs some stuff done to it, but it's livable, he says. So how do we do this?
Man. How long?
Okay. Well, what we need to find out here is a couple things. I want you to think about. I want you to think like a creative real estate entrepreneur here, because this kind of situation it's likely to stretch you here if you're new. Okay. Okay. Let's think about it. $44,000 asking price. ARV 120. Let's just say. Okay. All right. So we want to contract it with the wholesaler. This is cash deal. This is a cash deal. We want to contract it with the wholesaler now, right? Because we have to get it under contract. Can we just market this property just because the guy said, hey, if you can find me a buyer, can I just throw this out there on social media and just start looking?
You can, but you're going to get burnt.
You remind me of my dad. My dad would say something like that. My dad say, there's nothing I can't do. I can do anything. I'd be like, Dad, but they're going to put you in jail. It don't mean I can't do it, though. I could do it. You could do it. Yeah, you could. You're right. So, you don't want to get out there and stir it up like that without a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do we get it under contract with the real estate wholesaler? All right. How do we do it? Good question. Good question. I'm just laying it out there. Anybody want to talk on it? Okay.
Can I first make sure I understand? The guy that emailed you, is he the real estate wholesaler or?
Yeah.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah.
I wondered if there was another party.
Well, no. You're right. So the guy that emailed me is just another club member here. Okay.
Oh, that's where I was getting the confusion
Yeah.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sorry.
He knows a
So-
wholesaler that has it. under contract.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
we go.
Yes, ma'am. Everybody got it now? Sorry, I was clear as mud, wasn't I? Okay. So
Okay.
what do you guys
So I
think?
would say hand it over to Jocelyn and let her find the buyer.
Oh, that's cute. I love that. And I would too. But you know what? The first thing I would do would go to the wholesaler. I'd go to the guy. If he hadn't given me the wholesaler's information, I would get the wholesaler's information and I would go to him and I would tell him that, first of all, I want to see the contract and I want to know that I'm willing to co-wholesale with you, but you're probably going to need to get more time on this from the owner. And I want to make sure that we don't have a lot of people on this deal, that you are the original wholesaler.
Right. That's all good advice. Good advice. You can tell she's been around the block at least once or twice, huh?
Myself here. Yeah.
I mean, she's met a scammer or two. Yeah. Well, we say they're scammers, but they're not really scammers. They just don't know what they're doing, right? When it comes to. All right. So hold on, something falling over here. All right. So that's a good point. You got to find out if it's under contract. You got to find out if it's under contract with the homeowner. You got to find out if it's actually, not just the wholesaler that's got what we call it in this business. We call it the daisy chain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what she's
Too
talking
many
about.
hands.
The daisy
What's
chain.
the daisy chain?
The daisy chain is when Sue gets a contract with the homeowner, and then Sue tells me about it, and then I say, "Oh, I'll help you find a buyer too," and you go, "Okay, cool. If you find one, let me know. We'll partner up." and then you tell everybody else in the room, and then they say the same thing, and then next thing you know, there's like 7 of us trying to all get paid on this deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a daisy chain.
Okay.
That does not happen in this group, okay, but it does happen in other places online. Okay, so be careful. Yep. So I sent my guy here, Earl. I sent him a message saying, "How do we get in touch with this guy?" Because we definitely want to find out if this is a real deal from the wholesaler, like Jocelyn said, and then we want to either let Jocelyn do it, or maybe we, if we're going to do it ourselves, we send an agreement. What would it be? What would we
joint
send?
agreement. Just
Yeah.
that you have those available for people. I love that you put so much effort into your course.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to share with you realestatewholesalersclub.com. And if you see right here under my big ugly mug logo here, see that's so hideous looking, but it's like hopefully it burns into your psyche. You see it, see it in your sleep. You're like, oh my gosh. I don't know if he was driving a big giant truck and then he jumped out and he wanted to arm wrestle me with a phone in his hand. Free full spectrum virtual wholesaling agreements package. Okay. Now click here. Okay. So when you click here, what's cool is I don't even ask you for your email address. Just go here and you can see here's get the deed subject to paperwork. Here's pretty house lease options paperwork. This is all virtual wholesaling stuff. Okay. Here's ugly house cash money offers. And here's ugly co-wholesale. So that's what we're talking about is co-wholesale. So here's an assignment agreement. Won't need that yet. Hold on. Here's a docs list. If I slide down, it'll tell me what's in this folder and what it does. JV option agreement. Use this document to contract the ugly house deal with your JV wholesaling partner who has the deal under contract with the homeowner. Okay. Then the assignment agreement is how we use to sell our co-wholesale deal. And here's an invoice on how we get paid. Okay. So let's go back to the folder, JV option agreement. Here we go. It's a little short 1-page deal right here. And you fill out the blanks, put your name in it. It says 15-day right here. You could actually change that to 30 or 60 or 100 or whatever you want. And there you go. Now you've got something you can send that wholesaler. If he signs this agreement, then you have equitable interest in the deal. Okay.
An
now,
exclusive? Exclusive?
You can make this, let me show it again because that's a great question, Sue. You can see that it says right here, property seller hereby gives and grants to buyer and or assignees a period of blank days. You want to change this. Okay. From the date hereof, the non-exclusive, or you could delete it and say exclusive. Okay.
Okay.
But because he's a wholesaler, he's going to be looking for a buyer too. He's not going to quit looking for a buyer. So I always have this non-exclusive with my wholesaler buddies. Okay. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
If I'm going with a homeowner, I probably want it to be exclusive. But because I'm going direct with a wholesaler, I can go non-exclusive and he and I can. Here's how I like to describe this with a metaphor. He's going to run his horse right next to mine in the race, and whichever one of us gets to the finish line first wins. Okay?
Can you put the link to that in the chat box?
Yeah, to the actual agreements package?
Yeah, to all of them, all
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Yeah. They're right there at realestatewholesalersclub.com for anybody,
Okay.
but I will put the link right here in the Zoom room chat for you as well, and anybody here in the Zoom room. I'm really glad you guys have joined me today. I've had a lot of fun, and I wish that I had a message back from Earl already on how to contact that wholesaler because I'd love to do that right now. And if anybody here in the group wants to know, okay, there definitely is a course that you have access to on how to wholesale how to co-wholesale. Okay. So we can definitely get you hooked up with that course if you want that. Okay. Thank you, Christina. Appreciate you.
Can you put a link to where we hook up with that course?
Yes, I can. And that is, give me 1 second. I want everybody in the world to have this one because this one here is this is Brandon Simmons, and with me, it's a great little course. Great little course. So I'm putting it in the chat room right now. It's shutupmoney.com/go co-wholesale crazy. Go co-wholesale crazy. All right. But the actual agreements package, did I put a link to that too? I believe I did. All of it there.
Yeah.
Okay. And everybody that's in the club here knows that my calendar is open throughout the week for you. Please take advantage of me. All right. Use me as much as you feel like you need to. Use me until you use me up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. What is that? Who did that song?
Bill
Let's see.
Withers.
Yeah. Yep. It is.
Bill who?
Withers.
Bill Withers. That's a good tune, though. You know, if you think about it, it's got a good groove to it. All right, so use me and let's do some one-on-ones. Monday is my birthday, so
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
You know, so I'm gonna take the day off.
So Tuesday.
So and then on Tuesday we can get back to work if you want. And then, all right, so
Or Wednesday.
either way, Wednesday, Thursday morning.
No, Wednesday, because you'll probably have 2 days off.
No, man, no, I don't party that hard at all. No, I'm a pretty boring guy when it comes down to it.
Justin, I have a question.
Yeah.
You guys, what do you prefer to do most? Is it wholesale regularly or pretty house wholesale with the lease options or just a regular wholesale? What do you guys prefer more?
You know, here we talk about pretty house lease option wholesaling like 99.9% of the time. Today, we just happen to be on co-wholesaling. It just kind of went that way today because of Earl bringing me that lead. And I forget to remind people, because I talk about lease options so much. I want to remind people that I'm not just a lease options guy. I actually do other things too. So don't think that it's just, one thing.
Yeah, and Ace yesterday said that he does lots of stuff and he didn't do very much lease options this year.
Right.
Yeah, and he said it's going to get easier next year for lease options, so he's getting back into it. Do you agree with that, Jocelyn?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, and that's because of the way the market is going. There are a lot of people that are going to be underwater because they overpaid for their homes. And for whatever reason, they're going to have to leave, and they're not going to be able to go to a realtor and say, sell this for me, because the market is going to be declining. And they're going to need something creative to get out of that home. That's where lease options come in at. So I absolutely agree.
Yeah, I totally agree. 100%. I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting on. Oh,
Me
yes.
too.
Thank you, God.
Me too. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, God. Yes, that's right. Yes. Waiting for such a time as this. It's been okay. I've made a living doing it. It's been great, but man, the momentum has shifted in our direction, everybody. Okay. Because you see, they'd rather the interest rates are high now, man, and maybe even will go higher. But just Google some stats on this. CoreLogic is a great website you can go to and sign up for notifications even, but get some info on this, because not only are we like 4 million housing units behind in America, which is great for our business, but also there's like a record number of canceled real estate transactions lately.
Yeah. My
That's
husband
great.
sees that. Yeah.
That's great for our business too.
Mhm.
Wow. Whoa. It's a perfect storm.
That's right. With lenders tightening their belts and them not wanting to lend the money.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I know.
Absolutely.
I know. If you guys don't want to get in on it, hey, that's okay. That's cool. It's more for me. You know what I mean? Hey, if you don't want your slice of pie, I'll eat it. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you next week then. Thank you
Thank
for
you
being
so
here.
much.
Guys.
Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you.
Stay safe
And
out there,
I
everybody.
hope to see
Okay.
you guys on next week. Have
Thank
a
you,
blessed day,
Jocelyn.
everybody.
Talk
And
to us in
again,
the chat
too.
room, everybody. We'll see you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.